What are the outcomes that a customer can expect if A, they don't adopt an e-learning strategy, and B, they adopt the wrong e-learning strategy?
If they don't adopt an e-learning strategy, they might be missing out on an opportunity to rapidly drive new product information, to ensure that they've got a compliance program in place. So from a business point of view, e-learning is going to simplify the way that they can operate. So e-learning is fast becoming something that can't be ignored. If you're not utilising the technology in business, it would be like saying we're not going to use fax machines when they arrived out. You know, we're taking a company decision to stick with letters or to stick with mail. Or we might take a company decision not to give our sales reps mobile phones. You know, e-learning is a technology, it's a medium, and it's a way of doing business. So it's here, and it's here to stay. Early adopters that are getting in and embracing it are learning a lot of lessons that the rest of us can then learn from, which will make it easier. So the question as to whether we get into e-learning or whether we don't, I don't think companies are going to have a choice. How we access it will change. So those companies then that say, well look, we will get into this e-learning, they need to have choice about how we want to do this. They need to be able to work with a variety of different providers to say that, you know, if we want to develop content, it's best to work with 2 or 3 different companies over a period of time. We might want to access the technology externally. We might want to install the technology.
By taking a laissez-faire approach in selecting an e-learning partner or supplier, you know, what's the worst that can go wrong?
The worst that can go wrong is that you end up, and we'll talk specifically about content for a minute. Let's assume that you've put in the management system, or you've got access to a management system that you're comfortable with. If you've selected one that will scale and that you can change, so as your business changes or your needs change, the management system needs to change with you. So let's assume then that you've got that part right. The next step is around the content and what it is that you wanted to develop. It's important to work with a supplier that will give you ownership around the content so that you can edit it yourself. You don't want to be put into a position where you've paid all this money and you've got all this expensive content, but you can't adapt it and change it going forward. So the investment then becomes, you know, quite a burden on you. The other thing that you need to look at is user experience. You know, who are the people that are actually going to be sitting down and looking at this content or listening to it or working with it? What sort of experience is it that they're going to have? And there's a variety of different things that will impact on that. The technology, the bandwidth, understanding the speed, etc. So those things are easy to work through, but user experience has got to be one of the drivers that you set out right from the start to resolve.
Great.
Hello everybody, my name's Kevin and I'm your trainer for today. I can see we have James there in Sydney. Hi James, and Carol in Brisbane, and we've even got Yvonne coming into the training session live from Hong Kong. This is our online training solution. You can see the content here on the left hand side. It happens to be PowerPoint. I could use PDF, Word documents, any application at all that I would use in a training class and bring it into the training group just as we go. Let me tell you a little bit about the service. It's based on a global network for e-meetings, and the network is all around the world. You can see that I have a range of tools that I can use to highlight different things as we go through the training, and we have chat capabilities, and we can be asking questions and have a fully interactive.
What are the lessons that WebEx can actually offer?
WebEx at a technology level and the US at a technology level is marginally ahead of Australia. In the e-learning space, I believe it's only marginally. I think the one thing holding us back, or that has been holding us back over the last couple of years, has been the deployment of broadband internet as widely as it could be. We're seeing that being overcome, and people have much better access to broadband throughout the whole country. So, given that that infrastructure is now in place, what companies can start to look at is how they can blend different learning environments rather than be fixed in the infrastructure that they have, a classroom that they've invested in, an online learning set of web pages and tools that they have invested in. They can now also consider a live e-learning opportunity through something like a WebEx, where we happen to be the best in that space. So we're adding a third option so that a course developer or somebody trying to achieve an outcome of learning with students now can have a third option in the way they deliver their message. And what we've learnt is that there is no correct answer for any given learning outcome. Sometimes you will use just one tool, sometimes a classroom is correct, sometimes traditional e-learning on a website, self-paced, is correct, sometimes just web-based learning live like WebEx is correct. But more often it's a mix of all three that gets the learning outcome that's desired at the most cost-effective and efficient level.